Hello, good evening. It's Monday again. So just while I wait for some of you to join, I'll just find myself on my iPad. So full disclosure for tonight, I haven't really got a plan. So just while I wait for... There we go, turn the volume down. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. So I've got myself up on my iPad. I apologise for the appearance, I haven't got any makeup on. Just too tired this morning. Oh, Louise, you feeling sorry for yourself? You had your tooth out. Oh no. Oh, I hate that. It's a horrible feeling. Well, in that case, you need some crafting. So, full disclosure, I've got a little bit of a plan, but not much of what I'm doing tonight. So I've maybe got a fun technique and then maybe a fun fold, which will probably take most of an hour, most of the hour to do. So yeah, I'm winging it. Why not? Why not? So oh, I'm sorry to hear you feeling sorry for yourself. I hope you've taken your meds, got some pain relief on board. So let me turn you down and we can get started. So let me just introduce you to my ceiling. There we go. There we go. So just for a second, I'm just going to turn my light on just so there isn't so much in the way of shadows. There we go. I can see shadows, but it's just my angle. Yeah, pain relief, take the drugs. I mean, I don't think there's much more in terms of pain relief drugs I can take, but okay, there we go. So, I haven't got a sample to show you, but got my Stamparatus out. And I thought I would play with Shaded Summer because it's brand new. Not even, I received it. Can't think whatever day I got my order last week. Tuesday. And also because I love the flowers in this, but also with current celebration, I've got the dies. Yes, you got it right, Louise. So they came obviously as part of a celebration. So I thought, why not give it a go? So I've got a couple of ideas, but one is a fun technique which won't work with the dies, but will. So they're so cute. Such great dies, and obviously the layering as well. So you can layer that on top of that, and that on top of that, and obviously cut out. So yeah, I'll have a bit of a play with those, and yeah. In the meantime, I have a little bit. So I'll have a play, and then we can have a go at my technique. So I thought just keep it simple for the first one, and then we can do the fun technique, or at least I hope it's going to be a fun technique. It's only going to be a fun technique if it works. Hopefully it will. I had a little practice yesterday, but I haven't really done a full. And then I've got a nice fun fold, which I have actually got a sample of. So let's just see what this stamp's like, shall we? And I thought maybe can pull in some, let me just get rid of those, some of the new In Colour DSP. Let me just, what colour do you fancy, Louise, as you're feeling poorly or feeling sorry for yourself? What colour out of the new In Colours do you fancy? Bit of polished pink? What's your favourite out of the new ones? do you think? Fresh freesia? Soft succulent? You let me know whilst I get the stamp set up. Let's just see what I can get away with blockwise. And I'll get my basic white. I got it right this time. Get my basic white. And we can maybe die cut this out and see what it looks like. So what do you think? Fresh freesia? Polished pink? So maybe just do a tone on tone sort of a colour. So got that one with the nice spots, or that side with the little dots, the plaid freesia. Okay, maybe, oh, maybe that one. It's got plaid on the back. Yeah, I love a bit of fresh freesia. So let me just move that to one side. So let's stamp this up in fresh freesia. We can do a tone on tone. Oh, you want the plaid? Okay. That's fine. So let's stamp this and die cut it out. Ooh, what a pretty stamp. Ooh, yes. I like that. Okay. Let's get the dies, which I've just buried under all my mountain of stuff. You wouldn't think I'd have that much, really. I've only just started. I mean, really? Where have I put them? Did you see where I put the... Oh, yeah, there they are. Well, you know, magnet, isn't it? They're all stuck to the back of the Stamparatus. Silly Billy. Okay. I need to get these onto magnetic sheets. Oh yeah, that's going to be lovely. Okay. Let's trim this down so it can go through my mini. Keep that for sentiments. Oh, I'll just have to move the cat's paws because she's holding on to the mini cut and emboss machine. Excuse me, Bella. Thank you. Okay. So I'll lift you up a little bit because that's a close-up shot of the mini cut and emboss. So how are you getting on with your paper trimmer, Louise? Are you loving it? I love the Stampin' Up trimmer. Let's just secure that in 2 places, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, it is. It's lovely. I mean, obviously, you'll get furry bits, and that's when you need to change the blade. But it's been a while, actually, since I've changed my blade. Oh, sorry if it's rocking. It does. And just the ease with which you can score as well without having to get a scoreboard out. I just, particularly if you're cutting and scoring at the same time. I love this post-it note tape. Put it back on. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It's cut so well. Oh yes, I think I'll be playing with this a lot. Yeah, just to score your bases. I mean, you can score once, cut once, and you get 2 out of it. It's perfect. It really is. That's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Okay, so speaking of which, let's do a basic white card base. So I like doing 10-fold cards. I don't know why, I just do. Got a real thing for them. So score at the usual 14.85, 14.9, 5 and 7/8, and then it's 4 and 1/8 or 10.5 that you cut it at. Okay, and then we will do, might put a little bit of vellum on this as well, Louise. So as that's 10.5, I'll cut it down to 9.5, so we've got a nice big border. And as it's 14.9, we'll do 13.9. So you get a nice big border all the way around the white. And then, just to soften, so you get that nice, or if I've got, now I'm sure I've got some die cut circles somewhere in my scraps pocket, or a label of some sort. A few scraps that I need to use. Stitch so sweetly. That's a little bit small. I want something a little bit bigger. Oh, that could work. And then we can do a sentiment. Yeah. Okay. Got glitter everywhere. I don't know where that's come from. So this is from the ovals, which I know has have they retired now? I think they retired this. I'm sure they retired one of them. I can't think which one now. So that, and then that, just to lift it. And we can add a little bit of ribbon. A little bit of ribbon. Tone on tone ribbon. Or a little bit of white. What do you reckon, Louise? I'm doing it to your specification. I've got that beautiful fresh freesia. What I've got left of it anyway. And do a tone on tone on tone. White ribbon. Okay. So I'm just going to stick this down flat. Now, before I do that, let me fold to make sure we've got the leading edge at the front. Yeah, okay. Let's stick this on here. And then I'll do my, it is a beautiful flower, it really is. Get rid of that. Is that straight? Just my eyes. So I think we can stick that flat onto there, but then we'll stick it up on dimensionals. So I'll just stick. Hello, my lovely. How are you, Alison? We've got a holiday booked. Holiday. Have you packed yet? I did see that Michaela put her launch out. Have you signed up? Me and Alison have booked our holiday. So I'll use a bit of crinkle ribbon because it's a bit softer. So for those watching that don't know, so Alison and I booked our holiday today. It's not till September. That's why I'm laughing at the fact that she's already got a notepad to write a packing list on. And she messaged me earlier to say, oh, can I start packing? I thought she meant clothes. So I thought, well, you might need to wash some between now and then. But she actually meant crafting things. So we've got a nice little... So let's have a look at sentiment-wise. We have a choice from this set. So what do you, Louise, as this is your card, what would you like? We've got may the good you do come back to you, above and beyond you go there a lot, love you friend, happy birthday, some friendships are just meant to be. Hi Melanie, thank you for joining. Got hello you and thank you. What do you fancy, Louise? I'll let you do that. Make that choice while I... Hi Jane, how are you? Hope you haven't got a hangover following the football. Oh, Alison, it's... And celebration, you get the dies to go with it, Alison. So, which is what I've used to cut the flower out. So that's the celebration item. But it's funny because I picked this because I like the flower in Simply Elegant, but I'm not keen on the Simply Elegant. Some friendships are just meant to be. So it's brand new, look. Brand new out of the packaging. Where is it? That one. I have to put my stickers on. But I'm not keen on the Simply Elegant. Oh, it's that set. Yes. Oh, did you enjoy the football though, Jane? I know it wasn't the result that people were after. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's that set. I love this set. So I like the flower because I like it from the Simply Elegant. It's a similar flower. So I'm going to stamp this and fresh freesia on white. And then we can trim it. Yeah, I'm not a football fan. I've got to say I'll be quite glad of when they stop talking about it. Oh, thanks, Jane. So, and then, so the next card that I've got my idea for needs to be done on dark card ideally. Let me just trim those tails. Oh, didn't do that very well. There we go. Yeah, it needs to be on dark card, so I think I might bring out a pop of Bermuda Bay. So let me just trim this down. Love my little guillotine. yeah, I'm quite glad that the football is over. So, for those of you that have just joined, I'm using the Shaded Summer stamp set. And for customers starting in August, we've got an event, and running through to September, we've got an event called Celebration, for those of you that don't know, where you can earn free product. So I had ordered the stamp set, but the Celebration were the dies that came free as part of the celebration when you hit a certain point. So I was rather excited about that. So I'm going to stick that right in the middle, and I'm going to stick it on some dimensionals. Look away, Alison, I'm not using the minis. Okay. I do have the cat line next to me, so fingers crossed that's where she stays. So yeah, after this I've got, and if we've got time, I've got a bit of a fun fold that I'd quite like to, which I have done a prototype, but I haven't actually, so I'm going to put that a little bit further up to the top so I can put the sentiment down here. So I'll just trim that up a little bit more. Just so it's a bit more even. And we'll put those on dimensionals as well, or foam pads, whatever you want to call them. And maybe some gems. And stick that on with a glue dot. Oh, you're welcome, Louise. I know you're not feeling particularly great at the moment. So, gems. Need some gems. I won't use artistry blooms. I'll change it up for once. Now I do have in here somewhere, hiding in amongst all of these. Ooh, they would look nice. Love a gem. Yeah. Gotta have some sparkle. Or we can stick with the tone on tone on tone, and we can have the iridescent, look after them, Bella, a bit of iridescent going on. Take your pick tool, which I'm going to need to change the putty end soon. Okay, so it's only right, I think. Anybody guess what my favourite colour is? I'm going to put that one up there with a little one. And it's got to be done in threes. So. But, as there's not much else going on, I'll add one there in the middle. And one there. There we go. First card done. Of course it looks like carnage on my desk, but there you go, Louise, that's your card done. Hope you feel better. So I will do an inside at some point. We can put a little bit of Wink of Stella on it. Upside down. So let's just put a little bit of sparkle. Okay, so for the next card, I thought I would pull out, so for customers who host a party and earn rewards for orders, combined orders over £150, you earn product as well. So one of those is, yes, wink of Stella always. One of those is the Host Party Pack, which is a massive bumper pack of papers, 12 by 12 papers. So there's 48 sheets in the pack. So sorry, let me just tidy up my few bits so I can make space for the next card. So yes, there's 48 sheets of 12 by 12 double-sided patterned paper, and I thought I would pull it out to use as a bit of a background for my next card. So get the trimmer in, and let me just move that out of the way, somewhere where the cats won't destroy it all. So I thought a bit of Bermuda Bay, because, oh, who doesn't love a bit of Bermuda Bay? And a couple of the sheets from the Host Party Pack, which one side is very colourful. So these are just two of the papers that are in the pack. One side is very colourful with these beautiful, it is striped, but if you look up close, it almost looks like ribbon, like crinkled ribbon. And I did pull out this one as well, little half semicircles. And then on the back, it's black and white, which, you know, is ideal, goes with everything. So I thought, do you know, I think I'll go for the semicircles for a change. I don't know about you, but those stripes are making my eyes go funny. So we're going to, now I've already made my card base. So we've got our basic white card base. And I am going to use this image again, but I might also bring in the other image. So let me, yeah, that should be wide enough. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make this a 10 by 10, 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, just to go as a bit of a base layer underneath the Bermuda Bay. And I think I might just pull in a bit of Night of Navy as a bit of an accent. And as if I'd thought of it before, I've got some scraps sitting here. And then we'll do this as 10.4, maybe, we'll see. I'll trim it down to 10.4 to start with. And then just the basic layer. Actually no, we'll take it down to 9.5. Just so you get a little bit peeking out, maybe a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So this is not the way to conserve your cardstock, by the way, people. If you're trying to be, yeah, that's a bit better. So then that can layer like so. And then we'll just put a little bit of Night Navy there. We'll just do a 1 centimetre strip. I'll put that to one side. And then we just want a little bit, so we don't want it quite 10 centimetres. Okay, so that's the cardstock cut. Now what I'm going to do is bring in my Samparatus. Put the dies to one side for now. And we've got this second flower as well, which layers up I won't spend time putting the sticker on just yet. So just give this a quick clean. Okay. So what we want to do is put this right up in the corner and position that in the middle. So as I say, I have tried this a little bit, and then the idea is, actually if we do it that way, because that butts up, so that should fit sort of there. Sweet Symmetry, yeah, it is a lovely set. I must admit it's taken me a while to warm to the stamp set. So you see how they just nest into each other. So now I've got this butted right up into the corner. So anybody with a stamp positioner, this is ideal. You really need this. And I'm going to use our Whisper White to stamp it first. Fingers crossed that this works. So, and just to get full coverage and keep it flat. And of course the great thing about the stamp positioner, like the Stamper Artist, is that if it doesn't quite cover it, you can go back in. Okay, so you can see how it's nicely inked in white. Sorry, I'm lifting this up to get a magnet out, just to be on the safe side. And these are super, super strong magnets that I should have thought about before. Okay, let me just go over that just a little bit more. Just to get it nice, bright white. Oh, I've moved it. Knew that was going to happen. And that's what 2 sides of the cardstock is for. I took a wreath stamping class on Friday. So much fun. So you can make it and then cut it up and make it into cards. That's better. Okay. So let me close the white and then give this a good clean. Got to get all that white off. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with Bermuda Bay, but we are going to move this ever so slightly, and when I say slightly I mean like a millimetre. The tiniest smidgen. And if it doesn't work, we'll just go to my fun fold. Okay. Just make sure the white's dry just a little bit. Perhaps I might just run over this with my heat tool on the low setting. just to make sure. And then with the Bermuda Bay, so this is called shadow stamping, and I'm only, well, it's called shadow stamping. We'll call it shadow stamping if it works. Yeah, there you go. I'll just go over it a little bit more. Do you see the effect? Let me just stamp it. There you go. Do you see that effect? A nice bit of shadow stamping. Excellent. I'm glad when things actually work. When I'm able to get it from my head onto the paper. I'll just give that a clean. I'll take this out. Get rid of the cat hair, which there's quite a bit of in this house. Okay, so a really simple technique, she says, saying, phew, that worked. Thank goodness for that. So we're going to line that up on there. I'm just going to put just a hint of the Night of Navy in behind. So you just get a tiny hint with some of the colour. Okay, let's stick this down first. See, I mean, that's great. Great for colouring if you wanted to colour it in. There's so many different patterns. So try and get it even top and bottom, as well as side to side. Okay. Okay. And then I'll just run the tiniest bit of glue just on the edge. So let's just see where we want it. Okay. So that can sit there, and then we need a sentiment. So, happy birthday. We might do happy birthday. When don't we need birthday cards? I might actually, although I've just done that. So Sweet as a Peach, I'm absolutely loving the happy birthday sentiment, the font. So I just think that would actually sit quite nicely there. So we'll do the happy birthday. Let me get a block. Of course, what you can do with this shadow stamping, or with the white pigment in ink anyway, is you can emboss resist. So you can do the stamping, emboss it in clear embossing, and you can then go over it with the white. So it's got to be in Bermuda Bay, hasn't it, really, for this? You can go over it in the white, which will just tone down the dark cardstock, but will still show your embossing behind. just actually, I'm going to stamp it in the middle and then I'll cut it down. Don't you just love that font? Such beautiful font. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And a little mini paper trimmer. Guillotine. So I'm just going to try and get it straight. Forgive me, as I've got a camera overhead. Just a tad off that side. Right. Okay. And then got my tailored tack punch, which you can easily banner the ends without doing this, but does make life just a little bit easier. Okay, so if we stick that there, stick this up on dimensionals, and then how are we doing for time? Oh, it's only 5 to 8. And no one will ever know what was underneath on the other side of the card. Get all those backings off. So just raise that up a little bit. So I'm not going to put glue all the way to the end because obviously it's hanging off, so you don't want that. There's no need for glue that end. And then of course, gems. It'd be rude not to. So I actually have some lovely blue gems in here somewhere that I used not so long ago. Yeah, they will go beautifully. And then these Mahusive ones. There's card number 2. Number 2. It's only half an hour in. Not that I'm on the clock. So, is everybody up for maybe a little bit of emboss resisting using a similar technique? So you can see there the shadow stamping. See the effect it gives. So it's just one stamp, but you just move it a tiny, tiny fraction, because if you go too far, it will look a bit strange. But yeah, stamped in white and then stamped in the same colour. And it does work better on darker cardstock with the colours. Well, yeah, what do you think? So I can show you quickly the Emboss Resist, which may be on a bit of Night of Navy or a bit of Gorgeous Grape. Oh, a bit of Gorgeous Grape. I haven't used Gorgeous Grape for ages. So, trimmer, get the trimmer out. Oh, thanks, Louise. Oh, Susie. I'll teach you, Susie. I don't know, I'm making a card blank plus a bit extra. Oh, I might have used Gorgeous Grape last week. Shush, Susie. Shush. You're supposed to be on my side. Yeah, I use Gorgeous Grape nearly every week, to be fair. So I'm just going to trim this down to 14 by 10, which is a standard card layer for a card this size. If you want a bit of a border. So what I'm going to do, so a bit of Emboss Resist. Let's use, so I can use the same stamp. We can pull in something different. Let's pull in something different, shall we? Maybe butterflies. Ooh, dandelions. No, butterflies. Let's do butterflies. So this fantastic stamp set. One massive stamp, which you can do stamp surgery to it if you're brave enough. I, however, am not. So I will get my Stamparatus back out. Stamparatus, Susie. So obviously this will fill the whole bit. So let's just take these off. Of course, the beauty of the Stamparatus is that it comes with more than one plate, so you don't have to take things off. So I'm just going to put my cardstock. So I'm not going to stick it up into the corner this time, just purely because I do want this to cover the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there to hold the card down. And then anti-static tool. This just takes off any grease that's on the cardstock from sticky fingers. Which means that the embossing powder won't stick to your greasy fingerprints. Let's just make sure it's straight. Okay, and then with a bit of Versamark, yeah, I'm going off piste, I don't have a plan for this, so bear with. Clear embossing and a sheet of A4 paper, which I've got somewhere. Oh, Bella's looking after it for me. Thanks, Bella. So on a sheet of A4 paper underneath, I am going to stamp So my thinking is, could you use the embossing powder? Oh, you could do. If you've got greasy fingerprints, you could probably stick it in and then put it on. Oh, there's an idea for your kids, Susie, at school. This is basically, this is called a watermark ink. So it's a sticky watermark stamp pad. It's basically like a sticky ink, so it stays tacky longer to give you a chance to stick something to it. So I'm going to pour some of this over. In fact, I'm going to pour all of it over. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So, don't need that anymore. Then, clear embossing. My little spoon that's next to useless in times like this. I know it looks extreme. It's easy. But it'll all go back in. Okay. Just get rid of that. Okay, now we'll heat this up. I know it is pretty actually. You could just do it and then sprinkle glitter over it. But I know glitter isn't very environmentally friendly. Okay, so it won't, well it will look pretty, but maybe not quite so glittery. Of course I'm covered in the stuff. Okay, now if you've got your volume up high you might want to turn it down because I'm about to turn the heat gun on. Just let it warm up a bit. Ooh. And watch the magic happen, so it will change. You see it changing. That's true, Alison. Of course, be careful where you're holding it, so don't burn your fingers. Is that not just magic? Never fails to. Oh yeah, look at that for glittery clear embossing. Oh, let's see if this works then. Okay, so with my white, don't judge the colour. Now I have spare brushes just for this. Aha. 2 seconds. Hold the line caller. So this isn't a Stampin' Up brush. This is just one that I can use with my white because the white will transfer. Might need to re-ink this. Okay, yeah. So what you need is a microfiber cloth. This might not work so well because this has got glitter in it. And then you wipe some of it up. I mean, obviously if you've got clear without glitter, it's going to be a lot easier. But with the white over the top of the cardstock, it just tones down the colour. But you still get some of the richness. And it's still glittery. Oh, sorry if I'm making you shake. Hope you've taken your motion sickness tablets. Okay, let's just so you still get the glittery dark purple underneath, but all the areas around it are just a little bit more muted with the white over the top. But you still get some of that, you still get that glittery effect. And you can, I mean, you can keep going if you wanted to, but that's essentially emboss resist, Susie. That was all for your benefit, Susie. Might as well make it into a card as I'm here. So, you see, it's just a slightly toned down version of that cardstock, of the same cardstock. So it just allows you to, yeah, it's pretty. I mean, if you have clear, it's better if you have clear embossing, which I do somewhere, clear embossing without the glitter in it, then it works even better. And I mean, Stampin' Up! Do sell it. And I've got some somewhere, I just don't know where I've put it. So, I'm going to use some of my, because I need to, it's running out. Thought I'd try and use this up. I'll take runner. Of course, I've got glitter everywhere now. But let's just open it up. Okay, and then a nice sentiment. Let's have a look. Thanks so much. Or I know. It only seems right to pull out this. Oh, hi Julia. Would I? A primary school teacher. Yeah, I'd like doing all the fun bits. Just do a hello. Hi Julia, how are you? What do you think? Shall I do white on black? Looking for a block, by the way. White embossing on black cardstock. The black look too harsh? Oh, catch up later, Louise. Hope you feel better. Maybe a bit of basic grey? No. We'll do black. Grey. Oh, nice, and Julia. Maybe a bit of smoky slate. Yeah, smoky slate might be better. That makes the purple pop just a little bit. Ooh, sorry, I won't start singing. And I get to use Gorgeous Grape on smoky slate. Should we see what that looks like? Let's have a look. Haven't used this for a while. It was just a test. Smoky slate, yeah. I do love it. I do like a bit of smoky slate, I must admit. Well, considering this is an impromptu card, it's glitter everywhere. Okay. Let's do, and then I'll cut round it. Ooh. Oh, I love a bit of Gorgeous Grape. Sorry, I think I've had too much caffeine today. Trimmer. In fact, I know I've had too much. Could use clear embossing. Well, oh yeah, actually. The clear embossing, my clear embossing has got glitter in it, but I could, absolutely. Nice. Good suggestion there, Julia. That's a bit too dry now, but have no fear. Let me move that out of the way. Get my bit of paper back out. Because that will get used for something else. And then we'll just oh well, if you do it quickly while the ink is still a little bit damp, then you don't need to redo it with the Versamark. So, heat gun again. Now it's Gorgeous Grape on smoky slate with a bit of glitter in it. Perfect. Nice shout, Julia. Oh, it's really iridescent as well in the light. I don't know if you can see that. There. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Now, can I get them both? Did I happen to stamp them at the same height? Almost. Oh, oh yeah. What, like the ones we did at the retreat, Julia? Oh, good luck. Mind you, I did better at that than I did the macrame, didn't I? So I don't think anybody could be as bad as me at macrame. Maybe if you had less wine with it, but... Got glitter everywhere. Let's move this to one side, shall we? Okay. Feel like it needs a bit of ribbon. Yeah, well, the alcohol may have affected my macrame. Might have been the second large glass of white wine. But, you know, I may just be rubbish at macrame as well. She says trying to get hold of the end of the ribbon. Here we go. So, what do you think? What do you think? White spotty ribbon? Silver thread? I can do silver thread. That's a good idea. I have got some somewhere. What did I do with it? Aha, yes. Silver thread. Could double it up. Sorry, I think I can hear my cat outside fighting. That's why I got up. A bit tidier than that, but... put a little bit of tear and tape down. Honest. So I'm distracted by the cat outside. I can hear her growling at someone. Well, it definitely sticks down. Doesn't want to come up. There we go. Got it. Okay. So we'll stick that bit down. We'll do a nice loop. Okay. Then put a couple of dimensionals on. I'll do one there. Stay down. One there and one right there. Okay, well, it wants to go that way. Fine. Yeah, no, bow's not right. There we go. Card number 3. So a bit of glittery emboss resist with some white ink over the top. Simple but effective. Okay, it's 8:25. Now I have a card to show you that is a fun fold, and I can leave it to next week. So, excuse reaching. So this is the Never Ending card. I don't know if anybody's seen a Never Ending card before, made a Never Ending card before. It's been a while for me, I have to say. So if you're not busy, I can show you how to do it. It's actually very simple. Measurements are quite straightforward. So let me know. Or I can save it, I can show you it now, and I can do it properly next week if you want. So this is the card, and then you open it, and then open it that way, and then open it that way, and then you open it again that way and back to the beginning. That's a Never Ending card, Susie. Want me to show you again? So you open it that way. Okay, that's fine, Julia. I've got stuff to do. I'll show you a preview of what I'm going to do next week. I'm very easy, so I can spend next week taking you through it, doing the measurements. Oh, hello. Doing the measurements until it all falls apart, like so. And then that goes back to there. Show you how it works. I didn't put very good tape on that bit. So that's next week's job. So join me next week to show you how to make that. But for tonight, here's the card. So this is card number 1. Yeah, Jane, honestly, it's been so long since I've made a Never Ending card. You take care too, Julia. There's card number 2 with the shadow stamp. And then there's card number 3 that we've just made using the emboss resist with white ink. Yeah, I'm trying to go back through, Jane, and some of my older things that I used to do, just go back and revisit them a little bit. So these 2 cards were using this stamp set. And then, as I was saying, for those customers that are purchasing in August and September, we have a celebration event on. So as demonstrators, if you're signed up as a demonstrator, you get early access to the celebration items. And as part of the celebration items, when you have a qualifying order, you can then get the dies that match this stamp set for free, which allows you to cut out that, which is what I did for this one. This die cuts out that one, and then this die cuts out this one, and then you can stamp out the leaves and the flowers, and that lays onto that and that lays onto that, so you can do two-tone stamping, two-tone layers. So yeah, so you can get the dies for free with qualifying orders. So just thought I'd show you a quick, I've been wanting to do shadow stamping for a while, so I'm glad I've done it. I've got it out of the way, and I will definitely be playing with it just a little bit more. If you can see the carnage on my desk, which you will do when I lift you up. So let me get you turned round. You can see my lovely ceiling. So thank you very, oh, hi Cindy. Oh yes, do watch the replay. I've done a bit of shadow stamping and a bit of white embossed resist kind of, but doesn't really work. I mean, it works, but not all that brilliant when you've got glitter in the embossing. So everybody say hello to Bella. So Bella's joined me, snoozing happily until it is carnage. It is, Susie. It is absolute carnage. Look at that. Absolute carnage. So I've got it all to tidy up now. But at least I'm in the office tomorrow and not here, so I don't have to worry about it too much, and I can do it tomorrow night if I absolutely have to. But it's very nice of you to join me, Cindy. I know, my gorgeous Bella. So she's had lots of cuddles today. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the replay, Cindy, and anybody else that's catching this on the replay. And thank you so much for those of you that joined me for my live this evening. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're right, Jane. You're not crafting properly unless there's a mess. And I will show you how to do the never-ending card. For those of you who haven't made one and haven't seen one before, I'll show you how to make that next week. And yes, Cindy, I'll see you over on YouTube very shortly. It's almost time. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for joining me. I really appreciated your company as always, and I'll see you next week. Oh, thank you, Jane. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like the cards. And keep stamping, as they say, rather than dancing, because I'm better at stamping than I am dancing. Unless I've had a few rum and cokes, and then I'm game. But anyway, I'll stop rambling now. So thank you very much for joining me, and take care everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, bye. Oh, just in time for Bella to get up.